In this episode of the Trails of History podcast, we are talking with Jay, the face behind the YouTube channel called Trench Diaries, a YouTube channel dedicated to sharing the real stories of soldiers from the past. Through letters, biographies, and books, Jay brings to life the personal stories of those who fought from the trenches of World War I all the way towards the battlefields of World War II and even more. His work reminds us that behind every uniform is a human story. Join us as we talk about the power of storytelling, the importance of empathy in history, and how Trench Diaries helps keep these voices alive for a new generation. Now, let's roll the intro.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force.
We went over and we crawled. If you stood up, you were dead.
Schulden tragen den deutschen Staat, das Deutsche Reich.
What distance for 5? This is Delta for 5-3.
We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
Okay, and the podcast is live. So this is Trench Diaries, Jay. This is your first time showing your face as well on the internet.
Right.
Nice.
Guten Tag, and how do you do to everyone? Happy to have you, and happy to be here. It's a great honor. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no problem, man. So my name is Sander. We have Sean here as well, and I thought I would invite you because I love your channel, man. Like your YouTube channel, I love it. To be honest, what I do always every night before I go to sleep, I put your audiobook on the books that and then I listen to it, and then I can with my imagination, right? When you're talking about Erich Hartmann, him coming down, and then the German truck comes up, and with the Russians in there, and then I just visualize it in my head, and it's just
like he was this excited when he called me, and he's like, Trench Diaries has said yes, and I was just like, Trench Diaries, Trench Diaries. It's like the guy I told you about, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I need to go listen to that. And since I started Spitfire on my tail, I'm like that now. Oh no, this is just another new obsession that I need to listen to. But thankfully, I have a day job where I can kind of have an audio book or something on, so I'm going to power through that series. I think next week.
So, sorry, not sorry, but appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of people when reading the comments, a lot of people are listening to it while going to work or when doing work actually to kind of zone out or zone out of their actual work when they're doing something that's not exactly engaging for them, and I appreciate it. You can listen to it however you want. It's fine. That's what it's there for.
Long car journeys is great for that sort of stuff. So 100%, man.
Yeah, and you do it also so well. Like your voice is really nice to listen to. Your flow in how you read the book actually is like really good. Also, the beginning of the new book, you explain always like how you, who you are, what you're doing, and with the videos as well, with the action after action report, which is a amazing idea. I love it so much. Always at the end of the episode, I just wait for the action after action report, and just it sort of sums it up. So such a good combination.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, thank you. This is one of the things that I thought about when doing this. I thought you need to do something that's personal, that's kind of unique. Not to boast, but I thought there's so much to talk about in these episodes, so much stuff that I've witnessed personally or experienced personally, or something that's exactly the same now than it was 100 years ago. And why not talk about it? And even though the after action report, usually if it's a bit longer, it takes almost as long to produce as the actual recording, but it's one of the most fun things to do in the entire theater. So I like it very much. So I like it that you like it.
Yeah, I bet it does, because you go literally from the beginning of the chapter, you go through all the chapters, and then put your own experiences in there, and then people can sort of from their own listen to it and make more sense of it, right? Because you add your personal story to it, and it's just
it's really unique. You listen to a podcast or an audio book, when it ends, it ends. Whereas in your case, when it ends, you get to listen to some more, and you almost look forward to that part just as much as starting the book. That's just from my experience watching the first few of your episodes now. So I think what you do is, it's truly unique. So
yes, and some of the books I had to edit a bit. I don't know if you've listened to Iron Coffit's entirely yet.
That's how I found you.
Yeah, good, because that is actually the book where I thought hold on, there's something wrong with this book and you have to talk about it, because if I just were to do it the right way, it wouldn't match up. And if someone were to read along for whatever reason, he would say, hold up, I've got the book right here. That's not what it says. And this is also what the After Action Report is for. For those that don't know, the English version of Iron Coffins is horribly translated. It's really horribly edited. It's out of sequence. There are engagements described in this book that never happened. The tonnage sunk is greatly embellished, just because the translation of the book is just so bad, and which led to my translating the original German version myself and then recording. And that was quite a lot of work, but it was also a lot of fun. I used ChatGPT. This is not a secret, because ChatGPT is really good in translating. Put a few finishing touches and then went with it. But this is also to talk about these things.
Well, this is literally funny that you say, because this is one of the questions that's coming up as well on what you did with Iron Coffins. Because so how I came about your channel, I was looking for that book Iron Coffins. I'm a gamer as well, so I play some games, some IL-2, which is like simulator flying. And also I played like a U-boat game. And that's how I really got into it. I watched back again Das Boot, which I've watched when I was a little kid, like a lot with my dad. And then all of a sudden, I was looking for a U-boat book just to listen to. And then I saw online some reviews of Iron Coffins, and they say it was an amazing book. Trying to find it on Audible, nothing. Trying to find it in the Google, really nothing. The only thing I found was on your channel. And then in the beginning, I was listening to it, and then you had that AI voice, but we're going to come back to that as well. But that's how I found your channel. And since then, I've sort of been hooked on it. Like, really?
I'm a gamer as well. So do you play the original Silent Hunter, or do you play, what's the new one called, U-Boat?
U-Boat is the one that I've played. Yeah, Silent Hunter, I've played way back when I was younger. I remember you had the Silent Hunter on the discs. Back then you put them in the computer, and then it was like...
I think I'm old enough to remember the first iterations of that game. Yeah, I used to play that a lot when I was younger. I swear it came on a floppy disk, the first one.
I played so much Silent Hunter 3 when I was in the army. This was my go-to time waster. It was absolutely perfect.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Oh, wow, yeah. So IL-2 as well, you play that as well, or?
Funnily enough, IL-2 is the only game I ever refunded on Steam. When it came out, the very first version, I don't know if you're familiar, they were almost unplayable. They were horribly optimized. They were crashing on me all the time. The damage model was all wonky. Yeah, it was crashing. And so I played it for about 2 hours. And then I went to Steam support. It was way back when refunding Steam games was unheard of. And I told them, listen, this is unplayable. I'm sorry, but I want my money back. Really? And they did, actually. And but I played it a bit, yes.
So yeah, IL-2, I remember when I was younger as well. Like, that game is already 14 years old. I think it's like something really like old. That, yeah, back then as well. I remember as a kid, you would fly the single player mission, all of a sudden it completely crashes. Yeah. So, but before we go ahead of ourselves, let's just start with the questions, and then we'll roll our way through it. So, first question that we're asking every guest. So there are 3 questions that we ask every guest. At the end, 2 questions, and in the beginning, 1 question, and in between we have questions focused on the guest itself. But how did you get into history? What sparked your interest really into history?
Yeah, this is a good one. Back in school, actually, I hated history. I actually genuinely legit hated it. I took it as one of my final exam classes because it was easy, and I knew roundabout what they were going to ask. So preparing for the final exams was quite easy. But I almost every single epoch that we discussed in history, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But then after I joined the army, I developed some interest, and we had to take history classes, of course, during officers training at the academy. And it kind of grew on me, and I started reading a few books. I read books during the army quite a lot during downtime, and it was a rabbit hole from there. And the more you read, the more you discover. And this was one of the main reasons that I started the channel, because I have to be careful what I'm going to say. Some things today are watched through a very, well, let's say one-sided lens. And there were many things that I learned in school and that we talked about in school. Me being German, you can think about what that was, where I thought to myself, I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't like it, but this seems overblown. I can't imagine that these things happen the way they did. And then I just started to read, and I started to read books and autobiographies from people who actually went there. Unfortunately, I couldn't talk about the war with my grandparents because they all died when I was very little. But the books and the autobiographies that I read were one of the main sources of enjoyment and knowledge. And so now I'm quite a history nerd, but as a teenager, so up to my 19th birthday, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. There was no joy in it, absolutely nothing. No.
It's weird because I'm the same though. You know, early on in life, I didn't pay it much attention. I wouldn't say I hated it. I just wasn't interested. I didn't take it at school or anything like that. And then it was probably like my mid-20s where I really sort of was just like, this is cool. And I often wish I could have gone back and spoke to my 14-year-old self and slapped him a little bit and said, history.
Same. My father always tried to get me interested, and he gifted me books and tried actually to gift me video games that were history centric. And back then, you know how it is as a teenager. Everything that your parents want you to do, you're going to do the exact opposite, and which is what I did, of course. And I mean, it's part of growing up, of course, and you change when you grow older. And for me, I mean, I like it the way it is, and I still read a lot when I have the time.
Yeah, 100%. For me, it was completely the opposite. My dad was really a history nerd, and then when I was little, I sort of got indoctrinated. I always make that joke that I got indoctrinated by my dad with history. But then, like you said as well, like all of a sudden in your teenage years, you do a little bit what you want, right? It's the same with me. Then it's sort of my passion went a little bit away. It never went fully away. I still watched here and there, like if Nazi megastructures was on Discovery Channel or National Geographic, I would watch it, right? Like that type of stuff, or a documentary, or watch the movie Saving Private Ryan. But like you said as well, like in your teenage years, you sort of kind of rebel a bit, and then you go a little bit downhill with history.
That's funny because I have a really, really great video coming up about one of the Nazi megastructures that is actually still standing in Berlin. And I went with a friend. Who's really good at 3D editing. And we are going to do a video, and we're going to show where the planned building was supposed to be standing and how big it actually was going to be superimposed on the landscape. No. Okay. Do you know what I'm not going to spoil it a bit. You know that Hitler was supposed or was intending to build this huge city, Germania, the world capital. And the ground in Berlin is very soft. It's not quite marshland, but it's very soft ground. And Speer told Hitler that he has to test the firmness of the ground before he can start the construction. And he actually built a structure to test the ground. And he said, okay, if this giant concrete building sinks into the ground XYZ inches in 5 years, then the ground is too soft. And that building is still standing, this test object. Yes.
Wow.
Okay, don't spoil it. Don't spoil anything more. I want
we'll do some geo-guessing later.
Yeah, you can. I mean, if you Google it, I'm sure you're going to find it. But just seeing this, it's in the middle of Berlin, and you're driving past, and you think, "What the fuck is this?" It's giant concrete. It's really huge. It weighs something like 50,000 tons, and it was too expensive to demolish it, so they just left it standing. And it's still standing. You can get free tours twice a week. And we did it, and it's quite a good video.
Well, adding that to my bucket list then.
The Germans certainly love pouring their concrete, though.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
It's solid concrete. I
still need to go over to Guernsey and say I think it was like 9% of all the concrete used on the Atlantic Wall was poured on that island. So some of the bunker complex is still there. So.
Oh, that's insane. Okay, so for the next one, tell us about your service in the German army a bit, so we have a little bit of a background on you.
Yes, I was blessed with knowing what I wanted to do as an adult very early on. It's actually one of my earliest memories. I can still recount it to this day. We were watching TV in the living room of my fraternal grandmother, and there was something, and they were broadcasting, what's the name in English? A Bridge Too Far.
Oh,
and it was
my favorite movie.
Yeah, it was broadcast in black and white, and there is one scene I remember this vividly. I was sitting in front of the TV, and my parents and my grandparents were watching on the sofa, smoking, of course, because it was the 80s. And who cares what the little child thinks? And there is one scene where the paratroopers are in some kind of living room or building when they landed behind enemy lines. And they are discussing the plans and what they're going to do next. And there's one German soldier walking past the window outside. And you see him doing a double take, and he's coming back, and they just shoot him through the window. Yeah. And I thought to myself, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And
really?
I was 4 or 5 years old at the time. And this is one of my earliest memories. And I knew when I grow up, I'm going to be a soldier. And it was the only job that I applied for when I was doing school. Wow. The only application that I sent out, and it worked.
Wow,
fair
really?
play to you, mate. Fair play.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, I mean, all the guys in my class were going, "Oh, I don't know, I'm going to be a doctor because my parents are doctors, etc., etc." And some people are going to start social studies or wanted to become journalists or something. But it's also going to be so hard, and it's going to be expensive, blah blah. So, no, I'm going to shave my head. I'm going to join the army. It's settled, yeah. And yeah, that's what I did in 2004. September the 1st, 2004, I think it was. Yeah, when I joined.
So for how long have you been in the army, or are you still in the army?
No, so that's a bit. I have to go on a bit of a tangent. So the general idea in Germany is when you join as an officer, which I did, you sign up for 12 years. Mm-hmm. But the contract is conditional on certain milestones during your training. The first 3 years of these 12 years are just training. It used to be, now it's different. But in my time, it was better. There were 3 years of training. Then there were 3 years of university, and then the additional 6 years of service again in the army for me. And in the beginning, your contract would be limited to 1 year. And in this 1 year, you would have to pass certain tests, examinations. And funnily enough, don't tell anyone, but I almost dropped out in the first year because I couldn't do the runs. I was a terrible runner. I hate running. Really, I hate running. And one of the runs we had to do was 3 kilometers in, I think, 13 and a half minutes tops, which isn't that fast if I think about it, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I hate running. Really, I do. Yeah. And so the end of the year was coming up. And of course, my instructors, they knew it. And they said, okay, listen, you're going to do a 3K every single day until you pass. And it was something like 4 weeks until deadline. And they told me, you're going to do a 3K every day until you pass. And I did, and I passed on the 4th or 5th day or something. And that was it. And then the contract was extended to 3 years. And then you had to pass the final exam to become a second lieutenant, which I passed. That was quite easy. And then the next extension is conditional on you passing your studies at university. And I started studying mechanical engineering. I wanted to become an engineer because every single one on my paternal side, my father, my uncle, my brother, they're all engineers. And so I wanted to become an engineer. It wasn't forced on me. But when I went to university, I did the same amount of studying that I did in school, which was nothing at all. I just went to the lectures and thought, it worked in school for me. So why wouldn't it work here? And it did not work, in fact, because studying at university is a whole different ballgame. Yeah. And so I dropped out after about, I think it was 1.5 or 2 years. And which in turn meant that my contract would end after a total of 6 years. So in 2010, I dropped out in 2008, late 2008, and then my contract would have ended in 2010. So I did 6 years regularly, was promoted to first lieutenant, and then I added 2 years as a reservist, or 1.5 years as a reservist, and then I dropped out and did something different. Yes, okay. So that's my story. Nice. Yeah, and I'm trying to regularly still serve as a reservist. I'm a captain right now, so I enjoy this very much. But right now I'm about here with work, so there's not much time to do it. But this is my story. So I joined the Armored Reconnaissance. I've talked about this in the videos. Yeah. Which, of course, this is a cavalry unit, and cavalry is known for their modesty. So it's a semi-elite unit, of course, Armored Reconnaissance, but they've become obsolete since the Cold War ended. And the basic idea was you get in your reconnaissance tank, you drive through the front line, get behind enemy lines about between 60 and 100 kilometers, and you recon command posts, supply routes, stuff like that, and you call in artillery or airstrikes on them, or you just report back where the enemy is, red land as we call them, where the redlanders are hiding. And of course, if you get shot up 100 kilometers behind enemy lines, if your tank gets blown up and you have to walk back, that requires quite a bit of a certain amount of skill to do that. And we had to be quite fit, and I became quite fit during the army. I still don't enjoy running, but I became rather good at it. And we trained for these kinds of events. So the standard training that we would do is simulated recon mission, and then of course your tank gets shot up and you have to walk back with everything. And that was usually 3 or 4 days, 60 to 80 kilometers.
Wow.
Well, that's a cool job.
It is.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah.
I mean, looking back, you kind of only remember the cool stuff, but the suck that you had to go through every single day, you kind of push back into your head. But it were shitty times at times. That's the reality. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much, and I also enjoyed, which I also did for a very long time, was training conscripts. Still back when we still had conscription, and I did that for combined 2 years on various levels, and training these conscripts from zero to you can kind of walk straight without injuring yourself. That was quite fulfilling. I enjoyed it a lot.
That's good. That's a colourful start to life, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Indeed, pretty adventurous, and I can empathise with some of it because I was a reservist in the British Army. So running, I hated, same as you. I think we had to do like a mile and a half, which is similar distance. I think it was like 10.5 minutes we had, and it was awful. I used to hate doing it, but I could put weight on my back and walk all day, but ask me to run, and I'm the fat guy at the back.
Yeah, same. Exactly the same. We used to do a 30K, so 30-kilometer march every Friday during officers training, and with 10 kilo pack on the back. And the max time for the 30K is, I think, 300 minutes, which is 5 hours. And my personal best for the 30K is 3 hours and 25 minutes. Yeah, so walking with quick marching with pack, I can do all day, but running, I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Oh yeah, I've been in the army for like 6 months, and then I went out because the Netherlands is not spending any more money, trying to save money on the army all of a sudden. And now with Ukraine, right, we're spending a lot of money again. After 6 months, I also I went out, and I'm like, I would love to join the army, like the brotherhood that you have with those people. It's like next level. Although even though I was with 6 months there, I still miss those guys. If I think about it, I still miss them now, right?
There's nothing like it. And my best friend I met in the army during officers training, and there's no other job like being in the army. Nothing compares.
Yeah. Man, I missed out a bit. Well, maybe you never know what the future brings, right?
You're still young enough to get your carcass back signed up. So
I'm 27. I feel old.
Let's get that paperwork done. Get you in.
I feel old, man.
I'll be 40 next year. That's getting old.
I'm 10 days away from becoming 41.
Oh, really?
I'm just behind you.
Yeah, I can tell you. So from beginning at 35, I think you can feel your body getting weaker.
I make noises walking up the stairs now.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm 27 and I make noises.
Everything clicks and crunches.
I make noises sitting down and standing up.
You're like, we're looking the same like our dads. They would do that as well, right? Standing up and like, oh.
Yeah, same.
Yes. So what gave you the idea of narrating history books and putting them on YouTube?
Yes, so I've always wanted to do something YouTube related, and I actually started another channel, which was a gaming channel during COVID under a different alias, a German channel. And as you can imagine, gaming YouTube is very saturated. So I did, I think, 40 or 50 videos with some slight editing, and they performed absolutely garbage. So I thought, well, okay, we can do this for a while, but it's not performing. So I thought, why put any more effort into this? But I always knew that I was going to do something YouTube related at some point. And then COVID hit, and I thought, okay, now's the time. What do you like to do? What do you enjoy? You like reading, you like books, you like history, and you like reading to others. So maybe there's something there. And then I actually got pushed by YouTube, some channels that were doing and are doing similar things. And I'm not going to name it. It's heads off to these guys because they're performing really well. And I thought to myself when watching these, I can do that. I can do that better, I think. Yeah? And so I put a slight amount of money into a good microphone and bought a book on Kindle for, I think, 2 or 3 euros. And I just started doing the AI voice versions, which is the D-Day landing books, D-Day, the German perspective, and which was a good coincidence because I started uploading these almost precisely when the D-Day anniversary was due.
Oh, smart.
So I thought to myself, there may be some interest in this topic in this time frame. So I did it. And the very first videos, the D-Day videos, they performed actually pretty well. And I thought, yeah, there's something there. We're going to do it. And yeah, that's been 2.5 years, I think, about now.
Nice.
Upload every Tuesday, every Saturday, never missed an upload.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I cannot say that. I wish I could say that.
And I guess what we touched on earlier, obviously the first videos using the AI voice, what was the turning point to then use your real voice?
Well, some people complained, and you know how it is yourselves. There are 1,000 comments under a video. 999 of them are positive and filled with praise. And there's that one comment that's going to say, "Oh, this is complete horseshit," and AI voice, it's disgusting. I'm going to cancel my subscription. And those are the ones that you're keeping in the back of your head. I still can produce from memory the negative comments from the very first videos right now, which is 2.5 years ago. And those are the ones that stick with you. And I thought to myself, why not actually read it myself? What can possibly go wrong? So I just tried it, and it was perfect, almost entirely perfect from the beginning. And I enjoyed it a lot, even though it's tiring. I can do about 45 minutes to 1 hour per day of recording. Then my voice is starting to crack, but it's from the workload that I have to do, it's quite manageable and it's quite enjoyable because, as you know, the AI voices, have become pretty good actually in recent times, but especially if you're switching from English to German to French, there's always this moment where you know, oh, this is a German word that the AI is struggling to pronounce correctly. And that this was going on my nerves as well. I thought, no. And it was actually typing the words in the prompt differently to get the AI to get the pronunciation right.
Oh,
in
really?
German. Yeah. So, but that was too much work at some point. I thought to myself, no, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. I will do it live. Yeah. And which is what I did. And yeah, I mean, it's been going pretty well so far.
Yeah, so now people also, so you've built a sort of a character around your channel now, right? So people know your name now, they know your voice, with the after action reports, right? So that this is way better than an AI voice because you sort of put a personality on a channel that reads out books, you know? Which you don't really, like Sean said in the beginning as well, like
unique.
It's unique. You have Audible and you listen to that book and the narrator you never really think of. Right? But people come back to your channel, not for the books, mostly not for the books, but for you. And then they see a new book like the one that you do with Erich Hartmann now, the BF-109 fighter, who people have never heard about the book, were not searching for that book, and are just listening to that book and hearing that story because you are narrating that. And that is something.
And I appreciate it. And I mean, this is one of the things that I learned in these 2.5 years. Sometimes the content that you're putting out it doesn't matter if the personality that's behind it, not to toot my own horn, but it's you can do it, or you can say that about every channel that's popular. The personality behind the channel is what carries it. And you can do everything with that personality and people will want to watch it or listen to it. And I just happen to do something that I enjoy and people enjoy as well, which is fine. And people have messaged me in private. My business email is in every video in the description, as you know. And I've had people message me, and I've made quite a few good friends that are living all over the world, and I enjoy talking with them and conversing with them. So that's another thing that I enjoy quite a lot.
Yeah, you're building your own. Yeah, you're building your own community now a bit, right? Around your channel.
Yeah.
So you've grown a lot now. You're on 9,000 subscribers now?
Right.
Something like that?
9,039.
You have it open on your left.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. No, that is awesome. So at the 10K subscribers, you're going to do another Q&A?
Probably, yeah. I think, but I mean, this podcast is some kind of covert Q&A. But of course, there's going to be another Q&A at 10K. It's become something of a ritual. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, 100%. Like that adds another personalized to your more of a person to the channel. So yeah, that's just really cool. So what does the process look like for you? You already said it a little bit, but maybe you can dive a little bit deeper. What does the process look like for you to translate German books or parts in English, and also correcting the inaccuracies in books, what you already said? For example, the accuracies in the book of Iron Coffins.
Yeah,
this is literally the questions that I wrote down, and you sort of already answered it, but maybe you can add a little bit more to that on the whole process of doing that.
So the main idea of the channel is to bring personal stories in our current time. It's like I say, every single time that I start a new book, the first episode, the first 10 minutes, this channel is not supposed to be political. Of course, you're going to have political comments nowadays. This is unavoidable. But I try to steer around it as best as I can, because this channel is supposed to bring stories of people to the now. This is the main idea. So what I do is I research certain books that I like, books that I get recommended. The current one about the giant dressed in gray, which was a book that I've never heard of before, is something that I was quite interested in. And then I usually just buy these books. They are dirt cheap on Audible, on Kindle. They're dirt cheap, or I go to eBay, and one of the very next books I bought for 15 euros on eBay. And then I do some research. Are these books accurate? What is the general consensus on the topics that are being discussed? And there's one that people want me to read since the beginning. That is not The Forgotten Soldier. This is, what's it called? It's about another SS man who goes to Indochina after the war. I'm sure you're familiar.
I personally have no clue.
No, I haven't heard of that. It sounds interesting, though.
It sounds interesting, and many people want me to read it. It's going to come to me spontaneously in a few minutes.
Just spout it out.
Yeah. It's generally.
You've got to do it with a certain panache as it comes out.
Yeah. And so this is allegedly some guy that was serving in the Waffen-SS on the Western Front, and then after the war ended, was going to the Foreign Legion as a mercenary, and then was fighting in Vietnam and Laos, apparently. But
the French Foreign Legion he joined.
French Foreign Legion, right.
Yeah.
And I did my research on the book, and apparently 85 to 90% of the book is fictional. So I mean, maybe I'm going to do it at some point with a huge disclaimer, but this is generally not something that I want to do. What I want to do is the personal diaries or biographies of people who actually were through, and I want to do these unfiltered. Just give you the experience and make you draw your own conclusions. That is what I want to do, and this is how I choose the books. Luckily, most of the books that I personally enjoy are very popular and easy to read, and those are the ones that I generally get put on the channel. Yeah, and then like I said, the Iron Coffins book, actually, it was the thing is especially with the U-boats. Most of the U-boat war diaries are available online. You can access them. There's a huge Google Drive that somebody has prepared. You can access it. It's free, and there are the actual war diaries in scanned versions are available from every single U-boat, every single patrol that survived. There's thousands, literally thousands.
Whoa.
And I read the book, and at some point, the protagonist was on patrol, and they fired something like 35 torpedoes in a single patrol. And I thought to myself, hold up. The standard complement in the tubes of a Type 7 was something like 12. That's way too much. And so I did the research, and I actually looked at the war diaries, at the patrol reports, and it did not match up at all. And I thought to myself, hold on. I hate to read something that's not true, but I know the German version. I've read it. I never had the same impression that this was fictional. So I took both books next to each other and looked up the chapters. And indeed, in the English version, suddenly there were events in 1942, late 1942, that actually happened in early 44, were displayed out of sequence completely. And the translation in itself was complete garbage. So I thought to myself, I can't continue doing this. And well, looks like I have to do it myself. So I scanned the pages. At the beginning, I started typing it manually, which took ages, but then you can do pretty good text recognition with your smartphone today. And uploaded this to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT, when it comes to translating stuff, is really, really good. Did a few finishing touches, and then, read it and uploaded it. And that's how Iron Coffins came to be. And I actually wrote an email to the publisher asking for clarification. And that was, I think, 1.5 years ago. No response.
No response. You said that as well in the in the book. Yeah. So it's just insane. Like when I hear this story, like it's insane how much effort you actually do to get the real story out. Like a lot of people could just go and sugarcoat it, be like, yeah, well, this is what happened. I'm gonna read it. An hour later, done. Edit, upload, done. You know. But you actually do research beforehand. You try to find the inaccuracies and going into that Google Drive, which, by the way, you need to send me that link.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, sure.
I could just see Sander and his little beady eyes light up. This is all I'm going to hear now for weeks.
I mean, this is really interesting because the things. Because many people in the comments were like, yeah, when he made up these things, then how can you be sure that the other things aren't false? And then I can always say, because I have the war diary right here, and to fake this, just to make this up over months, literally months per patrol, the amount of effort it would take for the entire boat to not say anything about it, you just can't. And
you can't.
It matches perfectly with the events described. And these war diaries, they are so good because every single torpedo fired in the appendix, there is a hand-drawn sketch of the torpedo attack, of the course of the boat, when they fired, what course, where they hit the boat, what the shooting values were of the gyro, of the TDC. It's really, really good. The appendices, the hand-drawn maps of the torpedo attacks, they are really great.
I need that link now for sure. Yeah, I need that link now for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, that is awesome. But like, I just cannot. How do I say this properly? I had no clue beforehand, before talking to you, the effort that you put actually into your videos. That's
I mean, this is something I always think about when I upload a video. If I were to watch this video as myself from another channel, I would very much like and appreciate this amount of effort. And so many times I shoot myself in the foot with this because it's huge. It's a huge amount of work, especially with these war diaries. Sometimes the scan quality is really bad, or other battles, when you look up the battle maps and the Wehrmacht, the daily briefings, which are also available. Sometimes they are hard to read, or they don't match up quite as well as you would like, or there's a small discrepancy in the spelling, especially with Erich Hartmann. Googling the names of the prison camps where he was is the names in the book are the German ways of writing down a Russian word, which is usually phonetic. It's not the correct way of writing down the city. So you have to get in your head and have the phonetics in your head, and you have to think about, okay, how would this be written in Russian? And then you have to just guess via Google, is this the right town? Is this the right prison camp that he went to? And this also takes a while,
Wow.
That's a huge amount of effort.
So, for example,
multiple times as well. Like it's not,
to be specific, so he was at the prison camp to stay with Erich. That is called Gryazovets. So, and if you know what Gryazovets is, you can easily put it into Google. But to see it written in the Germanified version, you think, what? And if you read it out loud, you say, this is what he means. Okay, and then you can kind of get there. But this is also one of the challenges, to get this right.
Whoa. Okay, I never knew there's so much effort went into it. Like
a lot of effort.
I even appreciate your videos even more now than I already did, to be fair. I think a lot of people who are listening to this from your subscribers are probably also as mind blown as I am now.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to be unfiltered, but I also wanted to be historically correct. Which is why I've started again to put in maps at the beginning of some videos through the Google Earth zoom, just to give you a general idea of where this is taking place.
Yeah, you did that a lot with Iron Coffins, I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I said, but before I'm sleeping, then I'm listening to it. But I always do the sleep timer. I never fall asleep during an episode. When it's done, I put it away and then I go to sleep. But then I'm in complete dark and you talk about a map and then I need to look at the screen right? And then I see the Google Maps like that. Oh yeah, it's over there in darkness. So that's pretty funny that you say.
I'm looking forward to giving that a go. Like U-boats and submarine warfare, I guess, has never been a huge draw for me. Like it's not. Sander loves it, and I'm a bit like, I don't really like the ocean. So keep me away from it. No, I'm definitely the BF 109 story. I can't wait to get through, and then Iron Coffins for sure.
It's also interesting and a learning experience for me because I'm a huge Navy guy, even though I served in the Army. And when doing the Bismarck book, tracing the path that Bismarck took during the first and final voyage, combat sortie, is way more complex than I thought beforehand. I just thought it went off to sea, drove around the north coast of England, and then the Greenland, Iceland, UK gap. And then there were two kinds of battles, and then she was sunk. But it was way more complex. And the way she was spotted by some fishermen is also really, really interesting. And I didn't know that before, even though Bismarck is one of the most popular stories.
So that you have that on your channel already from the Bismarck, right?
This Battleship Bismarck should be the name. Yes, Battleship Bismarck is the name.
Yeah. I haven't watched that one. I've listened to Iron Coffins, Spitfire on my tail. The Sniper on the Eastern Front, and now busy with the Erich Hartmann story. So the next one is like, how has your channel and the comments impacted your personal life? Well, you already said a bit that you made friends. People emailing you?
Yes, I've met quite a lot of friends all over the world that I converse with regularly. One of them had his birthday a couple of weeks ago. I sent him a small present. In fact, he's a model builder. Cool. Yeah, he's a model builder, and I sent him I sent him a small model of the Achtung Sonderkraftfahrzeug 234, the Puma, which is the World War II recon tank.
I was just about to say the Puma.
Yes, and which is the traditional vehicle that my branch used to use. We use the Fennec now, the Lux before, and the Lux is based on the Puma in World War II. So I sent him a very small model to build. And lots of different connections that I've made. And also the thing, you've probably experienced this yourself when you start talking to your friends and they're asking, what have you been doing? And you're going, well, I've started a YouTube channel. And the very first reaction from most people is going to be like, sure. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, enjoy.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah, and now 2.5 years later, I'm approaching 10,000 subscribers, and now the question becomes: how much money do you make? How much work is it? Yeah.
First they laugh, then they'll ask.
Isn't that illegal? You're reading books, and I say, no, it's transformative work. Yeah, I can do whatever I want. And but most people take it in good spirit. I have a few friends that have YouTube channels as well.
Oh, cool.
And we talk about it quite a lot. What works, what doesn't work, and I have a German channel as well. As I started, I'm doing car reviews. It's rather young channel, about 200 subscribers, 170 something, which I'm trying to grow. And I was preparing, or I am preparing with another friend, a German React channel. And we have a whole setup with 3D animations, and it's based a lot on puns. It's a bit on hiatus right now, but we are trying to get this up and running again in the future, and we both enjoy that very much. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
that's cool. Certainly keeping yourself busy then. My God.
Yeah, I am. And I have a day job as well, and doing that on the side. It's taking up a lot of time, but I enjoy it quite a lot, and I like to be kept busy as well, in fact. So I've always hated, even as a child, I hated being idle. I always wanted to do something, read something, learn something, game, whatever, go out in the woods. And being alone and just having to wait was always torture.
Yeah.
So, and that has stuck with me.
Look where it has brought you now, right?
Yeah,
almost
indeed.
10,000 subscribers and sitting on a podcast with people you just met like an hour ago.
Yes.
So yeah, now we're going in a little bit deeper, tiny bit deeper. So, what is your opinion on the German stories of World War I and World War II being mostly overshadowed by the Allied stories?
Yes, so this is something for the young people that are listening right now. If you're going to start a war, you better not lose. Yeah. If you're going to start a war and you're losing, you're going to have a bad time, and everything that is going to be written, talked, or made movies about this conflict is going to put you in a negative light. And you saw this with Germany with World War I. There was a very, very, very long delay before people started to question the narrative Germany caused it all. And I actually learned this myself in history class in school, which was the late 90s, early 2000s. The singular guilt of Germany as a cause for World War I. And thankfully now this has, this is starting to waver, and people are realizing it was way more complex than this. And Germany suffered really, really badly after World War I. I mean, we paid, Germany was forced to pay huge reparations after World War I. And we actually finished paying these reparations, I think, in 2011.
Not long ago.
Yeah, no, not long ago. So almost 100 years of payments. And so don't lose. And World War II is the same. I mean, it's quite obvious who started it and why. But the general narrative nowadays is that for some reason, in January of 1933, all the German people woke up and suddenly, for no reason at all, started to vote for Hitler, which is something that I was taught as well. And I thought to myself, I don't think so. I don't think so. This cannot be true. You can't change your political opinion during the course of just a few weeks. And then I started looking into it. And of course, it's also way more complex. I mean, we can go into it if you want or not. But the point is, the war, the Second World War especially, was terrible and will remain one of the most terrible tragedies in human history. But the causes for this war and the causes for the Nazi rise to power are way more complex than just
100%.
People voted Nazi. This is harebrained. This is borderline childish.
Yeah, it's the problem nowadays that people are so entitled to their own opinions, and everybody can spout out their opinions, right? And people, if you're not on this side, then you're bad. If you're not on that side, then you're bad, right?
Yes.
There's no in between. There's no. It's only black and white for a lot of people. And I think now with also what internet brings is more opinions, and which is also a good side in the sense of that you can talk about these topics and then dive deeper into this type of. What's like the right word? Very impossible to completely unravel in a week or a day, if you know what I mean, right?
Yes.
It's,
You can't. And one of the things that you can't do, or that it's very hard to do nowadays, is to have a civil discussion that remains on the factual side, that doesn't turn emotional within 5 minutes.
Yeah, agreeing to disagreeing with each other.
Right, yeah. I mean, you can talk about everything. You can discuss everything that you want. I mean, we're all humans. We can pull our emotions back, which is what makes us human. We can oversteer our emotions with our mind. This is what makes us human. Yeah, we can sacrifice ourselves for others, which is again superseding our emotions with our mind. And the same should be possible, must be possible in a grown-up society when talking about every single topic of all time, and especially for things that are so controversial. You must be able to have a civil discussion, and in the end, if you come to the conclusion, okay, I disagree with what you're saying entirely, then that's fine too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I remember I made a video on the German war cemetery in the Netherlands. Maybe you've been there, Eiselstein.
Not yet, no.
Oh, it's a really big one. So it was one of my first videos. And then in that video, I explained that the difference between Wehrmacht and Nazis and SS and all that stuff. And that not what people say, like, oh, they heard the Germans in World War II, they were bad. And then I'm like, what you're doing as well, the individual story of a soldier is, you could say 90% of those people were not actual bad people. They were... if you know what I mean, right? They were in the army. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to say, but
it's hard to say, yeah, because classifying people as bad and good. I mean, there were obviously there were people that were in these political organizations, and they were true believers. 100%. They believed in the racial segregation. They believed in the pogroms of the Jews. 100%. Yeah. And you have to talk about why that was, and that these people were morally unjustifiable. But there were also others who were drafted when they were 17 or 18 or 19 years old. There were people who were put in the Hitler Youth at age 6 or 7 and were indoctrinated from a very young age. And I mean, there are a lot of people that said, that are going on and on about, I would have resisted and I would have opened my mouth.
Yeah, that's always after.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have. And if you had, your entire family would have gone to the camps. So there were
same in the Netherlands and in France. You hear in the Netherlands as well. Like you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I would have joined the Dutch resistance." And I'm like, no, you wouldn't.
No,
trust me, no, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't have. Especially if you've experienced death and grievous bodily injury by firearms, or if you've witnessed a neighbor getting executed in the street.
Yeah,
fuck, you would have. You would have kept your mouth shut and just went along with the times.
It's a surefire way to piss me off when people say stuff like that. And Sander will probably attest. I just haven't got the patience for it at all. I get it.
I mean, it's not to denigrate. I mean, these people are entitled to what they are thinking, of course. But if you look at the stories of the people who actually did speak out, I mean, they're all, considered heroes now, but the war might have as well turned the other way, and they would have been forgotten, or they would have been remembered as traitors, as dirty communists. And it's only because the war was lost that these people get hailed as heroes, which is good for them because it was an heroic effort, and I'm certain that they knew that they were going to die. But I mean, some of them were shot and put in a ditch in Berlin and just left to rot. So I mean. This is the pay with your life.
In hindsight, it's always easy to say what you would have done, but when you're in the moment, like, no, definitely not. No. You want anything to add to that, Sean? Or
no, I don't think so. It's pretty it makes perfect sense. I think the way you answered that, Jay, was spot on and very in line with my own beliefs, and I'm sure Sander as well. So
yeah, I said 90%. That's a little bit over exaggerated, but. Like I said, my head goes all everywhere, but you probably know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is the same thing with people in war. It's hard to put a percentage on it. I think there's three kinds of people that you're going to encounter in situations like these. There's 1/3 that's just going with the flow, that think the current system is perfect, it's doing pretty well, we have the economy is looking good, I have a job, I can feed my family. I'm all for this. Then you have 1/3 that's going to be against it, no matter what's going to happen. And then you have 1/3 that's kind of on the fence, and they're just going with the flow. And I think you can project this on everything. It's the same in wartime. Many people that I know as well were always going on about, I just want to go get into combat. I want to be sent in country, and I want to go on patrol, and I'm going to shoot all the Hajis and whatever. And I was always telling him, dude, you don't know how it's going to be the first time you're getting shot at. And my best friend actually, he experienced a bit of combat in Afghanistan, and it's the same as it has been 100 years ago. I mean, Ernst Jünger, who did the Storm of Steel book, in another book, he says, during war, people were questioning how the soldiers in the trenches were going on and on and on over the wire into the machine guns. And he said, again, there were three kinds of people. There was 1/3 who hated it, but they went along anyway because they had to. There was 1/3 who said, this is my life now, I'm going to do it. And there was the last third, which Ernst Jünger belonged to, who absolutely enjoyed it, who found their calling in life and said, I'm a warrior, I'm going to do this the best I can. And those are the kinds of people that then later in life usually have problems. We see this today with tier 1 operators in any country. You see this with the guys from the German special forces as well. They have a really hard time adapting to civilian life. And I mean, I had a hard time adapting to civilian life, and I've only been in for about 8 years. and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And being a tier 1 operator and then getting out, no perspective whatsoever, arguing about shopping carts at the mall with some old lady. Absolutely gruesome.
It's the adrenaline also that you get there, which is addictive, right? So we have a friend as well who's been to Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia. He was in the Dutch Marines. He did a lot of and seen a lot of stuff. But he told me as well one time that it's the adrenaline that you get there. It's you cannot get there anywhere else. And then all of a sudden you come back home and you're in your own house and you're sitting there in all the silence and nobody around you. It's just completely fucks with your head. It's like a whole different world. That's why a lot of people now are going back as well. That's why you see in Ukraine, like a lot of foreign soldiers going back who were in the ex-military or are in the military, who now have a chance to fight again somewhere. And then they go to those places just to get that rush again and that brotherhood. And
absolutely. I mean, if you're a warrior and you've discovered that you're a warrior, you're never going to let it just put it in a cupboard or something. And the funny thing about this is what I intended to say. These 3 groups that I talked about, you only know to which group you belong when it happens to you. You can't train for it. You can't prepare yourself for it. I mean, you can train the best you can, but the moment the first bullet comes flying over your head and you realize somebody is actually trying to kill me and they are trained to, this is a whole new experience. And you can't know it beforehand. You can't simulate wartime stress. I mean, we went through some survival, escape, and evasion training and resistance to interrogation training. And no matter how hard it was, no matter how cold and how stressful it became, you always knew this isn't real. They can't hit you. They can't cut off your head with a dull knife. So
it's going to end at some point.
It's going to end at some point. I mean, it's Thursday about 6 p.m. I mean, they can't go on much longer. This is the German army. We finish working Friday at 12. So I mean, and I remember once when it was the precursor to the resistance to interrogation training. We were coming back from an exercise, and we're riding a bus. And before boarding the bus, we had to ditch all our equipment and our personal sidearms. And I thought, this is odd. This is unusual because we have to do some cleaning afterwards. And then I thought, this is going to happen. Okay, let's see how they're going to do it. And about 10 minutes, bus stops. Some guys come in with balaclavas, and they were simulating a foreign enemy, and they were trying to speak English. And their English was not the best. So I was trying to keep in my laughter because, if you start laughing in a situation like this, you're going to get singled out and put through the ringer. And at times it was hard because the English was so bad. It was so bad. And they were trying to be all mean and get out of the bus. Get out of the bus. Assume the position.
Oh, that's class. I wish I was on that bus. I would have had a whale of a time, I think.
That was a good time, man.
You guys must have had the same as well. Like you do exercise as well, Sean, right? With the British Army as a reserve, and you play like a terrorist.
Yeah, I played enemy quite a lot of times.
I did that as well. That was the best time. Fun. That was always the best fun. Yeah.
That's when you can just act like a child again to a certain degree. You're given scenarios to do, but a lot of the times I did it, we were kind of given free reins. We'd be given do whatever you want. The time's your own, but between these times, you need to be in this position. You need to attack them there or do what you need to do. If you want to improvise, I'll just tell one funny story of me and a friend of mine. We managed to get into a group's harbour area. So it was a training group. And we managed to crawl in at night. So this is where they sleep. And my friend I was with actually managed to crawl into the basher, or it wasn't a tent, it's like a waterproof tarp, and pretty much get into bed with one of the sentries, and then we're stealing their weapons and stuff. And we weren't instructed to do that. We were just given free rein. So the amount of fun, and you're just like a little kid, all over again. It's brilliant.
This was the best. So we did the same thing. I loved being red team, and it was the same for us. We were all given free rein. The only thing that we had to do was don't disturb the locals, the civilians, too much, and wear some kind of outfit that makes you clearly identifiable as a Redlander. Okay, got it. Cause havoc. I can. And because if no one's looking over your shoulder, generally, back in the day, 10 years ago, when you walked through a small village in Germany, all the farmers would come out, all the old people would come out and would just have a chat. They would all bring some snacks, some sausage, some schnapps, of course. And about 2 or 3 p.m., you would have to check yourself because you would be 6 or 7 schnapps deep, and you still had a job to do. And that was good times. And we also did this, sneaking into the enemy camp. Best times ever. I kid you not. Stealing enemy maps, replacing the board markers with dildos. Absolutely the most fun I've had in my entire career. I kid you not. This was
Oh, I can
good.
see you
So
glow
good.
when you talk about it as well.
It's
So
playing
good, so
enemy.
good.
It's just
Yeah.
Because
And I mean-
I guess what it is you're not being you spend so much time in the military being told what to do, to actually be told, just you do you for a week, but just really upset the course that's on the course or whatever. So
perfect. And we were limited to a certain space, to a certain corridor of movement after some time, because we were causing so much havoc, especially at night. Because you know how it is. I mean, if you have some guys who haven't served or who haven't served for a long time, and you put them on guard duty, they will fall asleep at 2 or 3 a.m. 100%. Or if you have a small encampment in the woods and you have a fire in the middle, guys sit down right next to the fire. They start to stare into the fire. They get fire hypnosis, and they completely zone out. You can walk next to them, sit next to them, give them your water bottle, and let them have a drink. They're not going to realize what's going on. And this is absolutely phenomenal, the amount of fun we had with the guy.
Oh. Man, I'm missing out now when I hear these stories. I've missed out in my life.
Red Team was always the best.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I'm just going to ask this question as well. Like, do you have any family members that served in World War I or in World War II?
Yes, all my grandparents, my granduncles, they all served in the Wehrmacht, regular Wehrmacht, and I can send you some pictures. You can edit them in. And there's one, unfortunately, I think, I have to go on a tangent a bit. My grandparents on my father's side died when I was 4 years old, so I never get to really know them. On my mother's side, they died when I was 15, I think. And at that time, like I said, I didn't have much interest in the military. But then when we took care of all their things and we cleaned out their place where they used to live, there were so many old photographs from the time when my grandfather was in the service, and we just took them. Didn't pay him much mind. And then a few years ago, 2 or 3 years, I perchance, or by chance, I came upon these photos again, and I thought, look at this. This is interesting. And there's one of my grandparents, which I don't know the name, unfortunately, who's one good-looking man. I can tell you this. He could very much have been on a propaganda poster. I can tell you that, for the Wehrmacht.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I will send you the pictures, and you can see for yourself. And the picture of my grandfather as well, who served in the Wehrmacht, in the East German army, and then was private security for an industrial plant in East Germany. And he served as well. And he was in the Gulag for, I think, 5 or 6 years. And he came back, I have to look it up, late. The war had ended had ended for a couple of years, and he came back late. And he developed stomach cancer from it. So that's how it went.
A few years in a gulag, a few years is a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that long ago, right?
No.
It's like your grandparents. Like, that's insane. And then those stories, oh man. You would just turn back the time, and then when you're 15, just ask questions like everything that you want to know, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, man.
A lot of things that I've missed out there. But I mean, on another note, I spent a lot of time talking to my parents about East Germany, which was equally as bad at times. And I mean, they also had not gulags, but they had prisons that were really bad. I mean, I've talked about this, I think, in one of the after-action reports as well. Russian methods of interrogation and German bureaucracy, they are like this. Yeah, they are a synthesis. They work really well together, and the prisons and the interrogation methods in East Germany probably some of the best of all time in the entire world, and they could break literally everyone. And I mean, I talk about this in a positive way, but being on the opposite end, I mean, it was communism. You were denounced quite easily. My father was denounced himself, actually, and it was a one-way trip. And this was even more recent. I mean, the East Germany collapsed in '89, and I tend to ask people these questions, especially from Western Germany, where I live now. What do you think was the date of the last death penalty in Germany? And they go on like, 1945, 1949 or something. No, the last death penalty in Germany was, I think, 1983 in East Germany. Wow. So, and it's not that long ago, no?
No.
And most people don't know this. And they say, yeah, it wasn't all that bad in East Germany. At times, if you rose up against the system, it was quite literally that bad.
Yeah, censorship was really hard there.
Yeah, and I mean, you could have, you were forbidden from work, and not only you yourself, your entire family would suffer when you were disgraced, which is on another level.
Well, glad those times are over there.
Indeed,
not anymore that it's over. Yeah, so we've already been talking for an hour, so now we're going to the last 2 questions that we ask everybody. So it's already been an hour. Can you believe it?
I mean, we can keep going if you still have some energy in. I mean, I have nothing else planned.
Yeah, well, it's for the so what we definitely can do, like in the future, maybe within like 6 months, we invite you back on.
Yeah, sure. I'd love
about
to. Yeah.
More experiences as well. So I'm going to cheat. I actually have 3 questions.
Okay.
But the last one, that's something different. So this is a little bit of a fun one. Sean, you want to ask it, or should I ask it?
Is this the sit down question?
Yeah.
I can do this one. So okay. If you could sit down with one person from history, who would it be and why, and what do you think you'd say to them?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, this is one out of left field, to be honest. I have to think about this for a moment because there's
take your time.
Yeah, there's so many.
Take all the time you need.
There's so many.
Yeah, that's why. So before we went to the question, we talked about maybe doing 3. But it would be more fun to just have 1, right?
It puts you on the spot more with 1.
Yeah. That's 1 is actually way harder than 3. That's a good one.
I think last week didn't we give JD 2 in the end?
Yeah, we in the end 3 as well in the end.
But so Jay, you can have 2 this week.
Okay, so I think 1 definitely would be Douglas MacArthur. General Douglas MacArthur. Just talk about the Second World War and just ask him, how did you think it went? Ask him in the time frame of 1953 when the war in Korea started. Just ask him. How did it go?
That's an interesting one. To be fair,
that's a really interesting one.
Yeah,
so it's fun. Yeah, sorry, it's fun to imagine alternate history. And again, I have to say this because of current events. I'm not trying to glorify the Third Reich, but I would like to think, or to pick the brain of a soldier, of a warrior who went through this war, the war before, and the war after.
Oh yeah.
And ask him, do you think things have changed? Do you think things went good, bad? Who knows? That's what I would like to ask. MacArthur was the one who asked the president at the time to just nuke the Chinese when they were attacking South Korea.
Yeah. So he was mostly on the Japanese, on the Asian side, right, MacArthur?
Later, then he was on the Western Front, and then
and then he got put.
Korea.
He got put. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. So, okay, that's pretty interesting, though.
That's a really cool answer.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm looking forward to this. Like, the more guests we have, I reckon, like, for our Christmas special, we need to like rank everyone's answers and see where we think they stick.
Yeah, this is now number 1. You surprised JD with his from the history.
So then, and then if you can have a second, so who's the close runner-up?
There's so many. There are so many.
So it doesn't have to be wartime. It could just be like a historical figure.
Anyone. Okay.
Anyone from history.
I'd like to have a chat with Otto von Bismarck.
Oh.
Probably the most important German politician of all time. The German politician that unified Germany in the end.
Oh, wow.
Because most people
that's cool.
also don't know Germany. The idea of a unified Germany is pretty old, but the unified German state in itself isn't that old. It was just in 1871 after we beat the French for a second time in a row.
Yeah, the Prussia War.
In the French-Prussian War. And the idea of unified Germany is, depending on who you ask, is either dates back to the time when Varus was beaten in the battle at the Teutoburg Forest, or at 800 AD, when Otto I became emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Otto I, also known as Otto the German. So the idea has been there for a long time, but the actual unified German state has only existed for 140 some years.
Yeah, makes sense, because you could argue that like the Holy Roman Empire wasn't really unified as it was, because there was a lot of fighting still happening within Germany and different houses and kings and
and for a long time, when you went from Hamburg to Munich via on horseback, you went through, I think, 25 duchies, and you had to pay customs and taxes every time you went across the border. And that was a huge hassle for everyone. And Bismarck at some point said, this is going, the buck stops here, and he unified Germany. He used the war to do it, but I mean, it worked in the end.
Interesting answers, man.
That's cool. I think it's just crazy.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So we're gonna make it still not easy for you.
Okay.
So if you could observe one historic event in history, observe like a drone hanging above or like an angel, or what would it be? One historical event.
That's another good one.
Yeah, we're not making it easy for you, Jay.
No, these are good questions. I have to think.
We've asked these questions, so we wrote the questions like a few weeks ago. I still can't answer that one.
Okay.
Myself, I still struggle.
Yeah. Do you have one, Sander? I'm trying to get some time.
Yeah, so I love Market Garden, Operation Market Garden. I'm very knowledgeable about that. So that one, but also like the Punic Wars. Like that would
that's a good one.
That would be like a and then I say Punic Wars because it's the first Punic War, second, right? So Battle of Cannae, you have so much watching Hannibal going over the Alps and stuff. But
Battle of Cannae.
I'd love to hover over it's a kind of two battles, but the Battle of Isandlwana, when the British fought the Zulus.
Yeah.
We got our asses kicked at Isandlwana, and then a couple of days to go and hover over Rorke's Drift and witness that defense. I think that would, after I've thought about it, I think that would be my answer.
Yeah, final answer. Lock it in.
So. Yeah.
After all the time.
Isandlwana and Rorke's Drift.
Oh, nice.
Have you been, perchance, in the vicinity?
I would love to go one day.
Yeah,
one day.
You must go. I've been to Africa a few times, and Southwest Africa, of course, and South Africa, and the country is really beautiful. And it's depending on where you go, crime isn't that bad. I've never felt unsafe. Well, once, but wasn't that bad in hindsight. And it's huge. You can see and explore many things. And from colonial times, there are so many relics that are still standing. And we've had a good time. I went with a colleague and good friend of mine, and we were kind of backpacking. We had 4x4 with roof tents, and we just went until it got dark. Stopped wherever we wanted, had some barbecue, and just slept through the night and went on.
Cool as hell.
And that was really nice, really good experience. Yeah. But to answer your question, I think, and I'm biased, of course, I would like to be an observer of the Battle of the Denmark Strait between Bismarck, Prince Eugen, Hood, and Prince of Wales.
Oh wow!
And to put it to rest, the argument of who shot whom.
Oh yeah, You'll be up there just taking
very solid answer.
Yeah, you'll be up there taking notes and bringing back.
Yes. 15-inch magazine, Act magazine. Yes, I knew it.
That's cool, man. I love this talk. So last question is, what is coming up on your channel in the future? And I also have one recommendation, not of a certain book, but maybe a certain topic.
Yes, but I have to start with books because that's the main deal. The two books that are currently running are going to come to an end. I have to cheat and look.
How many episodes on the Erich Hartmann story?
Yes, Erich has left 3 episodes.
Oh, so in total 19 episodes.
Yes, Exactly. And the Giant Dressed in Grey has, excluding today, 2 episodes left.
Okay.
So, and then of course there are going to be some new books, and the kind of book that performs really well and that people really enjoy. There's 2 kinds. One is submarines, the other is infantry combat, and as such, I'm going this route without spoiling what. But there's going to be an infantry book and a submarine book, probably the most well-known submarine book of all time. And what I also enjoy doing is these On Patrol live videos. I don't know if you've watched some of them. These are really great fun because I love exploring. And,
I've seen those. Yeah,
I love doing the East German bunkers. There are literally about 100 East German bunkers that are left to rot, and you can just go inside and document them. There are some Cold War relics here in West Germany that I plan to visit, and maybe some things abroad. I generally try to go to Great Britain once a year, and maybe the next time I go, I will film some things over there. And where was I going with this? There was another thing that I'm planning to do, which I forgot completely.
No worries. Then it will be a surprise, right?
Yes, it will be.
Yeah. So I can ask you one question as a fan of your channel. Could you ever do a book, I don't know if it exists, on a German perspective of Operation Market Garden?
I mean, the closest one to have would probably be D-Day, the German perspective, and the others I would have to research, to do the research if a book of someone who was very close to the paratrooper landings exists.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't know if there's a book like that exists, but probably there has to be a book.
Probably. I go to used book fairs a lot in the region, and there are so many autobiographies and diaries that are just available on these venues that are not available on Amazon or eBay or somewhere, and you just have to browse and have to take a look. And there's so many that you come about just by going there, and you don't get them anywhere else. I'm pretty sure there are some detailed reports about Market Garden from the German perspective.
There's got to be. There's got to be.
There's got to be. Yeah.
It was the last win for the Germans on the Western Front, right? So there has to be something
definitely
out there. But Sean, you want to add anything?
No, I think we've covered all the questions we've written down that I can see.
Yeah, it was really good to talk to you, Jay.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun. I'm going to be honest. I was a bit nervous, as you are. This was the first for me, but this was great fun, and I'd love to come on again if you want.
Yeah,
to.
definitely. 100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, Jay, where can people find you? They can look on YouTube.
YouTube. Just Google Trench Diaries. This is the easiest way. Or if you just Google Aaron Coffin's book. Luckily, my audiobook version of this book is the first result that you get, actually.
That's how I found you. So.
Yeah, you see, which I'm very proud of. There's an email there where you can message me privately if you want, or just comment below the videos. I read every single comment. I try to answer most. And that's about it.
And I'd make a promise to you that I will listen to all of the Iron Coffins and definitely Spitfire on my tail. Yeah. I'll try and get that listened to before Christmas.
Spitfire on my tail it's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, because I'm, like I say, just a bit biased, obviously UK history, but it's only recently since we've visited places like Langemark and stuff where I've really taken a more of an interest in how the Germans got on as well. So it's another training aid for me, I guess we could say.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, the Erich Hartmann's book is really good when it comes to aerial combat, but he kind of glosses over the pilot, the training phase of his pilot's training. The Spitfire on my tail is really in depth when it comes to the training phase of becoming a pilot, which I found incredibly interesting, especially the amount of accidents that happened.
And the radios as well, what they did with the radios and the transmissions, and that they didn't get recognition when they were that type of stuff. So that was really, really fun in that book. Yeah. I highly recommend anybody watching listen to those books. It's absolutely phenomenal. Jay, thank you. And we always end these episodes with a salute. So
thank you, brothers. I had a great time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, Jay.
Ja, danke schön.